A man shouldn't have sex during the day, otherwise his cattle will die. What do you think? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Susan and I'm a Namibian YouTuber. So today I'm back. Today I'm doing a very insightful and educative video. Growing up, we were just told by our parents not to do certain stuff which were regarded taboos or superstitions. So we were told all this and then we just followed blindly without questioning, because in my culture, if an adult tells you like, no, don't do this, you don't question like why or what will happen. We normally don't question, and we are told not to question. They just tell you no, don't just do it. So today I compiled a list of some of the taboos and superstitions that we were told not to do as kids, or that are just regarded, things that are regarded as taboo in my culture, and I'll try to give a sensible explanation on why you are told not to do so. So some of these taboos or superstitions will tell you not to do this, otherwise this will happen, and some of them will just tell you not to do this because we don't know what will happen, because we never asked, because we don't ask. We don't ask. So here I have a list of the things, and let's not waste too much time. Let's just go ahead and talk about these taboos and superstitions in the Oshiwambo culture. So before we start with this, if you're new here, please go down below, subscribe, and if you find one superstition that you think I didn't explain well, or that you think you know the real meaning behind it, please comment down below and just say, oh, on what they are told not to do this because of this and this and this. So I'm trying to find a reasonable sensible explanation to all these things. The first one says, oh sorry, I'm reading from this phone, so when I look here, I'm looking at my phone. So the first one says, don't clean or dump out trash at night. So the village homes are made, it's just a round thing made out of sticks and all that. So you are told not to clean or dump out trash at night. They don't tell you why. Sometimes they find a reason that the cattle will die or somebody will die, just, you know, to scare you. But I feel like they tell you not to clean or dump things out at night, because at the village there are a lot of things laying around, so you might actually clean and dump out something that's very important. So it's best to do it during the day. Yeah, so don't do it at night, because if you do it at night, then you will be able, I mean, you might throw out some of the important stuff that you can't see that they are there, because it's pitch dark in the village. If you've been to the village, you know what I'm talking about. It's pitch dark at night. So don't clean at night, because you might end up throwing out things that are really important. The second one is, don't drag a black pot on the ground. Like when you're cooking, most of our pots in the village, we cook, you know, we cook on the fire, and the pots get dark. So they tell you not to drag the pot, like drag it on the ground. They'll tell you the snake will come in the house or something like that. The reason I feel like they do that is just that you shouldn't drag it, because somebody might sit there and they will sit on that dark stuff, because when you drag it, you leave a dark spot, you know. So you might end up, you know, somebody might end up sitting on that dark line, and they're gonna mess up their clothes. That's my explanation. What do you think? What do you think they tell you not to drag a dark pot on the ground, otherwise snakes are gonna come in the house or something like that? The next thing is that don't throw water out the house at night. This is just the same as the cleaning, throwing out water, because we like throwing out water on top of the, you know, of the stuff that makes up the house, the sticks, right? So when you throw out, you don't know who's walking outside there, because it's still dark. So you might throw water on to that person who's outside there. The next one is that you don't roast a chicken. I feel like this one was just because chicken is delicious, and once you roast it, you feel like you know how delicious it is when you roast it, and then you will never stop stealing chicken. You will just continue stealing chicken because you roast the chicken. You know, I think they were just trying, since chicken are kept as you know, the farming animal, like they can sell it when there is trouble in the house, or they can kill it for a guest. So don't roast the chicken, because if you find that they are delicious, you might end up stealing chicken, which is not wanted. The next one is people don't sing while eating. This one is just common sense. It's like, don't talk with food in your mouth. Don't sing while you're eating. You know, this just tells you not to sing while you're eating because you will choke. Simple, right? Or you might end up spitting food on somebody else while you're singing, you know, or you disgust people. The next one is people shouldn't walk out of the room backwards. This one is very important. Sometimes, especially the huts at the village are short, so sometimes you might just go in and there's no room like to move around, so you might just pick up a pot and then you go back, moving backwards, you know. Don't do that. I feel like they just came up with that taboo that it shouldn't be done so that people will not bump themselves into the other person, you know. When you're moving out, you're carrying something important, be it a clay pot or something or a drink, and then you just trip and fall. So you must walk out facing forward so you see what's out there, you know. Or what do you think? What do you think they came up with that thing? Don't walk backwards out of a room. The next one is don't stir the pot with a knife. Your brothers will be stabbed. This is one thing I don't like about these taboos and all that. They instill fear in you. So stirring with a pot, why can't they just tell you that when you stir in the pot with a knife, the knife will go dull from the heat? Simple. That's what I think. What do you think is the sensible explanation to don't stir the pot with a knife? The next one is don't leave the pounding stick standing in the pounding hole. Like when you pound, we pound, there is a hole and then the stick pounding. So don't leave it standing. And for me, the sensible explanation is just that it will fall and it will hurt someone. Easy. What do you think is the reason not for us not to leave those pounding sticks standing on the pounding hole? Okay, the other one, after sewing, people should stop playing games. You know, games. So after the sewing season, people should stop playing games. I feel like the sensible explanation is just that once you keep on focusing on games, then the mahangu or the crops will be eaten by animals while you are just busy playing games. So it just means you don't play games, so you focus on work. The next, or what do you think? The next one is ant hills must not be climbed. You shouldn't climb an ant hill. I feel like this is just because there is nowhere to hold on to and you can fall. Many people broke their bones trying to climb an anthill, or sometimes an anthill can fall on you. There are people who died from freaky accidents like that. What do you think they mean when they what were they trying to prevent by telling people not to climb while they are not to climb anthills? What do you think? The next one is don't chew bones when you are a guest. Like when you go to somebody's house, you should not chew bones. I feel like it's just to stop embarrassing yourself, you know, not to show people that you don't have enough food at your house, that you're trying to get it from the bones. But bones are delicious, guys. Bones are delicious. So what do you think? What do you think is the reason behind the taboo or the superstitions? It's a taboo that you shouldn't chew bones when you're a guest. That was mine. What is yours? The next one is when people are harvesting beans, don't greet them. Because if they answer, the beans will die. So when you're this one is so funny. Okay, so when you're harvesting beans and somebody walk by and they greet you, don't answer because the beans will die. What kind of nonsense is that? Anyways, I just feel like when you're harvesting beans, you're expected to give people. In Africa, we share, right? So once you greet them, they will feel the need to share with you their beans. So it's just good to come up with that taboo, or the superstition that if you greet them and they answer, the beans will die. So don't just greet them, or don't just answer them so you don't give them your beans, and next time you see them, you just go like, no, we were getting beans, so that's why I didn't answer, because otherwise they could have died. What do you think? What do you think? Oh, the other thing is that maybe it's because when you're getting beans, you have to like focus. Otherwise, if you yank the whole thing, the bean will die. So maybe it's just trying to tell them not not to get distracted, otherwise they will make a mistake and the beans will die. What do you think? Tell me, comment down below. What do you think? The next one is a man should not have sex during the day, otherwise his cattle will die. A man should not have sex during the day, otherwise his cattle will die. What do you think? For me, the sensible explanation here is just that once you're busy having sex with a lady during the day, your cattle will be somewhere else eating stuff they were not supposed to, and they will die, or they will get lost or something. So when it's during the day, you have to keep your eye on the cattle, otherwise they will go in the field. So it's just good to tell you that you shouldn't have sex during the day, so because your cattle will die, so that you can keep your focus or your attention on the cattle. What do you think? That's my sensible explanation. What is yours? The last one, woohoo, we are almost done. The last one is kids should not look in the food storage or in the granary. Like when you have a granary, it's just like a bank account in the modern world, but in the village, kids shouldn't look in the granary. That's where we keep all the grains, the mahango grains. So kids shouldn't look in there. My sensible explanation is just that when you look in there as a kid and you see there is nothing, you will just end up dying of hunger, which is in your head, because you just be thinking, oh, where should our next food, where will our next food come from? You know, I feel like it's parents who should worry about that. So that's why they come up with that taboo that kids shouldn't look in the granary. There you have it, people. That was fun, right? Huh? What do you think? Which superstitions do you have in your culture or tradition? And what did I tell you will happen if you do it? And what do you think is a sensible explanation to that? So if you enjoyed this, please go down below, subscribe, share with your friends, and comment. Share the Oshiwambo tradition, superstitions and all that with your friends. Like, we have these crazy superstitions and taboos. So what are yours? Subscribe, comment, like, share, and all those things. Don't forget to check out my other videos. I will put the two at the end here, somewhere here. And yeah, go through my channel. You'll see some interesting videos. So thank you so much for watching. I love you. Bye-bye.